Let the body become quiet. Breathe the body quiet. Let the heart become quiet. Feel the heart to quiet. Let the mind become quiet. Watch your mind to quiet. We're breathing the body toward quiet. And we're feeling the feelings toward the quiet of the heart. And we're simply watching the thoughts toward the quiet of the mind. Become aware of the spaciousness of your own being. Within the body, heart, mind, and yet beyond all that, there is the spaciousness of awareness itself. Let yourself become conscious of that spaciousness. There's a lot going on in there. There's sensations and feelings and thoughts. And yet there's this space that holds all those things and is greater than they are. You are that space. That space is your own being. That space is the soul. It's the real self. Imagine it as a great jewel. The jewel of your being. Beyond body, heart, and mind, beyond birth and death, there's this jewel of light and love. And you are that jewel. That jewel is your real self. And the spaciousness of your own being is within that jewel. that spaciousness is pure, open, and clear. That spaciousness is your knowing faculty and your loving faculty. That spaciousness is pure knowing and pure loving. And because it's the center of this jewel, it's indestructible. And you are that. Your being is a gem. And your heart is your real heart, your true heart, is pure. Pure knowing, pure loving. And that jewel shines forth into the world. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom. Tonight we're going to talk about the mystery of the presence. And I learned this in the lineage of Maitreya. These teachings originate with Maitreya, who is the legendary Buddha of the future. And I'm going to focus into three ideas. And ideas have terms. And in this case, the terms are in Sanskrit. So that there's going to be, I believe, only three, maybe four Sanskrit words. And they are Atma, Buddhi, and Manas. Atma-Buddhi-Manas. These are the ABCs of the wisdom teachings. They're the composition of the soul, or the constitution of the soul. Atma-Buddhi-Manas. Atma, or Atman, means self, the self. And not the ephemeral self, but the enduring self. Not the self of the body, the feelings and the thoughts which are born and they die, they arise and they vanish. But the enduring self that is within all that and yet beyond it. And Atman has a mysterious aspect to it, in that Atman is individual. Like, I am is my Atman, but it's also universal because the I am is non-dual with the divine. So there's the little Atma, which is, my being, but that, and your being, that being is one with the greater being of the divine. And this is how an individual is connected with the universe, through the jewel, which is Atman, or Atma. So Atma means the self with a capital S. Buddhi means knowing. It's the knowing faculty. It's related to the word Buddha. Buddha means, the Buddha is awake. Buddha means wakeness or awareness. Buddhi is maybe a little closer to consciousness, to the knowing faculty. And I'm going to say, and the wisdom teachings say, that Buddhi is also the loving faculty. Knowing in a scriptural sense is loving. To know is to love. To love is to know. And whereas Atma is this jewel of self, the real self, not the ephemeral self, but the enduring self of the individual that is one with the greater self of the universe. And in the heart of that jewel, there's this openness, this clarity. And in the Dharma, it's called the void. And this is a hard concept for Americans. Void is scary to us. Most of the addictive stuff that we do is to avoid feeling the void. The things that we will do to avoid emptiness are, insane. We're afraid of it. We're afraid of the void. And there's this wonderful thing that happened in the recent, decades, whereas Jio Roshi Kennett, the Zen master up at Shasta, she said, we could translate that to purity. If you're going to say void, and everybody's going to get scared by that, this fear of emptiness that we have, we could just soften that a little bit and say it's the pure. And I think that's really beautiful. I think that's a gift. That the jewel at its heart is pure. Pure what? Pure knowing, which is akin to pure loving. So Atma is self, and Buddhi is knowing or loving. Manas means mind. M-A-N. Man does not mean creatures with masculine genitalia. Man means beings of mind, beings who are conscious of mind. And, mind is not very well understood. Mind is not really all about thinking. Mind is light. We get in trouble with our thinking, and we do. I'm not arguing with that. But mind in its essential nature is light. Manas is mind in a greater sense as the light of the world. One of the things we found in 20th century physics is that the universe is not a machine, and it's not an organism either. It's a mind. The universe is pure mind, pure light. And if you think that there's Atma, the self, the jewel, and at the heart of the jewel there's this Buddhi, this void that knows and loves, this pure openness and clarity that is non-dual with all things and all beings. And then the radiance, the effulgence of this jewel is how a being shines forth into the world. So let's say you meet a being. Let's use a child because they're easy. They're easy to see this. A 3-year-old comes into the room, and all of a sudden we're all going to notice that. 3-year-olds are often they're fascinating. They're kind of compelling, because they're natural, and they're a healthy 3-year-old is a natural person, a somewhat liberated person, and so what are we seeing? We're seeing their light, which comes from their Atman, their self, and from their Buddhi, their love, and shines into the world. And we've encountered a being. And so there's this, this radiance, this effulgence that, enters the room, and this energy that we all perceive. And yet that energy is only the surface. A little bit deeper than that, a little bit deeper than the manas, is the buddhi. This openness, this clarity, this knowing, this love. And a little bit deeper than that is the Atman, the real self, the being itself, the jewel. So if you meet a being, you see their radiance, their impact upon the world, and then if you let yourself open to them, and you let yourself kind of clear the connection between you, then you begin to perceive their depth, their knowingness, and their lovingness, and what you're doing is you're making contact with them as Atman, with them as the self, a being, a soul. So Atma-Buddhi-Manas are the ABCs of wisdom. It's a way to understand what beings are, what the soul is. It's a way to understand ourself. That I have a body. It was born and it will die. It's an appearance in the world of light. It's a thought form, actually. And that body has a heart. The heart's a little bit more subtle than the physical. It's emotional, and the emotional is a little bit more subtle than the physical. But it's pretty powerful. I have feelingness. I have emotiveness. And a little bit more subtle than that is I have cognition. I have intellect. I have thoughtness. And that's what we're conditioned. That's how we're conditioned to know each other, to meet each other, as a body, heart, and mind. But beyond that is to realize that the body, the heart, and the mind are the shining forth of light into the world. Like what you're seeing right now is the shining forth of my light into the world. And that's what you're seeing when you look at yourself in the mirror. You're seeing the shining forth of your light in the world. And when you hear my voice, or you hear your own voice, or you hear the voice of someone that you know and care about, you're hearing the ringing forth of their light into the world. And the world is light, and the being is light. And a little bit deeper than that is the knowingness, the lovingness of that being. That you meet another being, and you come to trust them a little bit and care about them a little bit, and then you begin to feel their soul. You begin to feel their interiority, the mystery of, this being knows me, or loves me, or knows something and loves something. You begin to get a sense of the depth of that being, and if you persevere with that practice of encountering beings in that way, then they will reveal their jewel nature to you, and you will begin to realize, the real self is the soul. This being is divine. This being is of the divine. So if you would, settle into your posture. Quiet the body with the breath. Quiet the heart by feeling the feelings. And quiet the mind by watching the thoughts. Who is it that breathes the breath and feels the feelings and watches the thoughts? Who is that? You are not your body. You have a body, but you are not your body. You are more than your body. You are not your feelings or your thoughts. You are more than they. You are the one who knows. You are the one that is beyond the thoughts and so can watch the thoughts, and who is beyond the feelings and can feel the feelings. You're the one that can choose to be still or to act. You are the being that is within the body and yet beyond it. We are transcendent consciousness, and we endure beyond the ephemeral personality. And yet, we indwell this form. We indwell the body, the heart, and the mind. So I'm going to ask you to let your heart be great. To let your heart be great. Now first notice that we clench our heart. We clench our heart so we don't have to feel what we fear to feel. And we clench our heart because we want to feel what we hope to feel. But feeling is the flow of life. There's no controlling it. So notice that you're clenching your heart. Notice the tension of that clutch. I'm clenching my heart because I want to control what I feel, how I feel. Notice that you're doing that, and then stop doing it. I'm clenching my heart. I notice that I'm clenching my heart. I release that tension, and my heart falls open. And let yourself feel what you feel. And there's no need to fear it, because essentially it's pure love. And let yourself know what you know. You don't have to know everything, but you know something. In the heart of the heart, we feel and we know. And this cannot be lost. This, our real self, cannot be lost. And the soul of our heart cannot be broken. It is pure love. The pure love that knows because it is one with. And it is pure light. Let your heart be great. Let your heart be great. Let yourself feel what you feel. Let yourself know what you know. I'm going to be quiet for a moment and just let yourself feel and know the greatness of your own heart. It has been said that the meditation of Maitreya, the future Buddha, happens in the heart. So let your heart be great. All of life is there. Our pain, our grief, our fear, our hope, our love, our joy. And we know all of these things by feeling them. And we bring them to peace by letting our heart be great enough to allow these energies to arise and resolve. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And it's not instant, and it's not perfect. It takes a while sometimes. But while we're here, notice how great your heart is, how spacious, how open, how clear. Let your heart be great, and let yourself feel and know okay. Right here is where we meet our own soul for the first time. There will be signs on the path, synchronicities and serendipities and mysterious encounters, and then there's and you're looking at that shooting star that happened at exactly the right time, and then something moves in your heart. So we've trained ourselves not to feel, which means we're training ourselves not to know our own life and our own world. I'm just going to throw this out because it's useful. Give people something to take home that can help. Really, many of us have vision, and many of us have voice. If you're a visual type person, you'll see things, and if you're an auditory type person, you'll hear things. But most of us, really all of us, you see the vision, you hear the voice, but how do you know if it's really the right way? Well, we all have this. Nah, yeah. You see that? Nah, yeah. It's here, where we feel it and we know it. You see it, you hear it, beautiful. Then you feel it and you know it. So, I'm not saying that the heart is the soul. I'm saying that the heart is a seat of the soul. The heart is the seat of the soul, one of the seats of the soul. And we meet Atma-Buddhi-Manas in its depth here. I find my light. I find my love. I find my sense of I am, the jewel of my being, here. And it displays itself through all these, mysterious, phantasmagorical, appearances. But I don't really know it until I know it. So if you don't remember anything else, remember, let your heart be great. Let your heart be great enough to hold all of it in peace. So, Atma-Buddhi-Manas. All right. Atma is self, and self is an act of will, the will to be. A being emerges from the universe by this primal act of will. I am. Now, in a sense, an atom does that, a cell does that, a planet does that, a star does that. But human beings, we really are that. We are this act of will, this fiat, I am. And the individual at that moment emerges from the collective and the unconscious and becomes a conscious being, emerges from the universe as an individual being. The will to be. And that choice, that decision, enters into its own heart, which is this pure knowingness, pure lovingness, and then, which is buddhi. Atma enters into buddhi, and then comes forth in manas. The self enters into pure love, pure knowing, and then shines forth in the world of mind. This has implications for magic. Magic is making. If you're a creative person, this has implications for us. If we are creative people, that we have this will to be, which is our greatest act of magic, and it's already accomplished. You've already made this decision to be, and you're standing forth from the universe as an individual entity. And this is an astonishing accomplishment. And then, to the degree that we are capable of pure knowing and pure loving, our original nature will shine forth through the energy of light, which is mind, which is the basic substance of the world. So one implication from that is that what you see, what you hear when you perceive me, when you encounter me and you see me and perceive me, is the perfect display, the radiance of my intention, my will to be. Not so perfect because my knowing and my loving are not entirely pure. And here's the crux of it: that this decision, this I am, comes into its own heart, and we have not perfected our pure love, our pure knowing. There's certain things I really don't want to know, and there are certain things that I really, really want to have, and so there's these distorting factors. But to the degree that I can, let my being be, open and clear, I can shine forth in the physical world of substance as the light of my love and my will. Atma is the jewel. Buddhi is the heart of the jewel, the knowing, the loving, and the shining of the jewel is manas. And the world is made of this. And Atma is will, and Buddhi is love, and Manas is light. Will, love, light. So I will, I love, and it will come to pass. it will arise, it will appear. To the degree that I'm able to bring my will, the will I am, into some kind of purity of love and knowing, it will appear in the world as me. I am falls into the great love and appears in the world as a person. Once again, let the body become quiet. Let the heart become quiet. And let the mind become quiet. And let's imagine this community, this community of aspiration, those of us who are studying wisdom together. That's what we're doing. We're studying the wisdom together. Let's imagine us as a circle. And some of us are here now, and some of us will be here, at another time. But we're all present. One way or another, we're all present. And let's imagine that as a great circle. And each of the beings in that circle is a jewel of love. And each of those beings shines. There's a radiance, a sparkle or a shimmer. There's a resonance, a ringing. Each being has a color and a tone. Not their person, but their spirit. And each is unique. So let's see this community of these jewels scattered across, the world. And we're sitting together in a circle, quietly shining. And our lights blend and fuse, and we become a chalice. Imagine us, our community of meditation, our community of aspiration. Imagine us as a crystal chalice. Sitting together in a circle. Our lights blending and fusing. Our radiance, our resonance, creating a crystal chalice. Imagine. We're just sitting quietly, listening. It's a vigil. The truth is not in the words. The words just kind of remind us, they're pointers. The truth is in our being, in our knowing and our loving. We gather together in contemplation. We pause from activity and we enter into contemplation. We're a community meditating. It's a magical act. We are a crystal chalice. Let us offer ourselves as a crystal chalice to the one light. The one light. The one mind that is no mind. The spirit of the world. Let us allow our spirit to be exalted, to be offered to the one light. And let that one light fill our circle, our crystal chalice. And let's hold that in our love for all beings, and our love for each other, even though we don't even know each other. We do know each other, even though we don't even know each other's names. And let us hold that light in that love. And let the crystal chalice, which is made of jewels, the jewels of beings, let it be filled with that light. And let it be toned, colored with that love. And I'm going to be quiet for a moment, a few moments. And let's let our shared heart be great enough to hold that light in love. Together we compose a crystal chalice made of the jewels of our being, joined with our love of the world. And we offer ourselves to the one light, and we let ourselves be filled with that one light. And we let that light be toned with love. these are the blessing energies of the universe. Our will to be, our love, our pure love, and the shining of our light. And together we are more powerful than we are separately. So, let the light and the love shine forth to all beings. Let the light and the love shine forth from this circle in this moment, at whatever moment you happen to have joined us. Let the light and the love shine forth to all beings, to the corners of the cosmos, to the ends of the world. Let the light shine into the shadows and the darkness. Let the light reveal and transform. And let the love pour forth with that light to all beings, strengthening, encouraging, inspiring. Let the light and the love shine forth and pour forth from this moment to all beings. This is a blessing that we can share.